So, Brandt, you've been a client. We don't remember. It's like 8, 9, 10 years, I think. And you were one of the first podiatrists that came to us, and we met at one of Rem Jackson's events.
Right.
Early days. And you're a programmer, right?
I am a programmer.
So
or
Dr.
was.
Programmer,
I don't know if I
right.
can even dare say it anymore because
And you
things
built
change
your
so
own
fast.
website
Right.
when we had met. And so tell me a little bit about what attracted you to us.
Well, to give you a background, programming-wise, I've been using computers since I was in second grade. My dad was a programmer. That's what his degree was in. He was one of the first that came out of Brigham Young University. He was in the accounting program at the time, and he actually switched because he was working in the library and they needed someone that could make the computers work. So he says, okay, I'll figure that out. And so he switched over and started doing that, and so that's what his degree was in. So we've had a computer in our house since I was in second grade, before we could even use the computer. So we couldn't play games or anything like that until we wrote a program.
Oh, that was your dad's edict. Oh,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
that was what so he made it. So I wrote a program. My brother did too. My brother's never programmed ever since, but I liked it. That was actually fun. And so I would get books and I'd learn how to write programs and so forth. I've never taken a computer class. Everything I've learned, I learned from basically looking it up and figuring it out. Back before you could do it on the internet and really figure it out.
Sure.
So that's how I started doing it. So when I opened the practice, I says, well, I've got to have a website.
Right.
And it didn't make any sense for me to pay somebody else to do what I could already do. And so I created a website and had it, and it was functioning fine. But because it was written by me, anything that needed to change, I had to change it. So I had to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to make this change, and now I got to make this change on this page. I got to move these other pages, make sure they all fit to the new changes, and so you're constantly making all the changes all the way down the line.
Oh yeah, that's why I made DSS.
That's where DSS came from. Yeah. And so when I saw DSS and says, oh, wait a second, I can now take an hour of my time and do it in 5 minutes.
Right.
Then it doesn't matter what it costs. Because again, it's going to say, okay, I want to get that time back, because then instead of seeing patients at this time and then doing my programming after hours or at home or whatever, I can go home and say, okay, I'm not going to be home with my wife. I'm now going to be home with my children. I'm going to be able to go to a soccer game or coach the soccer team or whatever, because DSS allows me to do exactly what I was doing, and sometimes more, actually a lot of times more,
Right.
Without taking all the time to do it.
And we're here talking about your third, I think, revision to the site. Are we at that?
Fourth.
Fourth, yeah. And I mean, it's been a journey, but has the website helped you grow your practice?
The website is, I guess, a no-brainer as far as what it does for my practice. On a daily basis, often multiple times a day, people come in and say, I saw your website, decided I need to come in. Part of that's content, of course, but it's also the way it looks and the way it runs. And they say, what's there? And so all of it matters. The website is an absolute necessity if you want to be successful, probably in any business, but especially in podiatry.
And you get business from all over because of that, right? I mean, I remember talking to you a couple years ago about that video, and we even talked about it on stage at the top practice years ago, where you had that video of a certain kind of procedure that somebody, where did they come from?
Yeah, I do a topaz procedure. I've seen patients come in, so I've done over 190 of those procedures now at this point over the last 10 years or however long it's been. I've had patients fly in from Texas. I've had them come in from Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho, Arizona, Nevada. I think I've had one from California.
Because it's a very specific, special...
It's a procedure to fix plantar fasciitis that's done minimally invasive. So it's done through pinholes. They have no incision. They're walking in normal shoes in 2 days.
Wow.
And so they're actually coming. So I have people fly in and say, I've done everything else. I'm coming to you because I saw your video. I know it's time to do this. Because of my website, we had someone fly in from Japan for bunion surgery.
Is that the one I was thinking of?
That might be. He came in from Japan. He's actually an American that works in Japan, and so he came back because he wanted to do his surgery in the United States, and he saw my website and says, "Okay, this is who I want to do it with." So he flew back, did his bunion surgeries, and flew back to Japan after the surgeries. So it's yeah,
Works.
it's working, and it's not just that, but even on a regular basis, Utah's not a huge state, but it's not a small state either. I have people that will drive 4 hours to my office because they find me and say that's the one I want to go to.